everyone doing tonight? Hell yeah, awesome. All right. Well, it is Valentine's Day. Soon enough. And so, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I love you for coming out here tonight. I'm in love with you, and just love is in the air, right? So with that being said, I wanted to tell you guys a beautiful love story tonight. I am here to tell you the story, the greatest love story ever told. And that is, of course, the story of Twilight. Now, a little bit of backstory on me and my connection to Twilight. I have been watching the Twilight franchise every Valentine's week for the last 10 years. This is the 10th year of me watching it, and so I figured what better way to celebrate that than to share my love of the Twilight franchise with all of you here tonight. This is going to be long. I apologize right up at the top. If you want to leave, that's fine. Buy some drinks first, get a couple drinks, but then when you want to tap out, that's totally cool, no hard feelings, all right? So, in preparation for this, I did no preparation for this. Everything I'm about to say is based on my memory of watching the Twilight movies for the last 10 years. So if I get some facts wrong, if I get some of the story wrong, don't worry about it, okay? This is just my interpretation of it, so it's all good. Let's just move past the inaccuracies, all right? Fair enough? That's cool? All right. All right. Oh, I got Red Bull all over my stuff. That's okay, it doesn't matter. It's fine, it's fine. We open in a beautiful glade. In the Pacific Northwest, there's a deer drinking out of a stream, and we hear a voiceover. I've never given any thought to how I was going to die, but giving my life for somebody else's seems like a pretty good way to go. Twilight! Hell yeah! We are introduced to our protagonist, Bella Swan. Bella Swan is a 17-year-old girl coming up from Arizona, moving to Forks, Washington, because her mom, Renee Dwyer, right there, is going on the road to follow her loser husband, Phil Dwyer, who's like a 45-year-old man, in his dream of becoming a professional baseball player. Good fucking luck, bud. Not gonna happen. There. Bella arrives in Forks, Washington, a sleepy, quiet, rainy town in the Pacific Northwest, just a few hours south of Seattle. And she is picked up at the airport by her dad, Charlie Swan. Woohoo! Charlie Swan is the chief of police in Forks, and he is the fucking man. He is awesome. This is a picture of him half-cut cleaning a shotgun in his home. That's pretty cool. Charlie Swan, right there. When they arrive at Charlie's house, we are greeted by Charlie's best friend, Billy Black. He is the chief of the Quillet tribe, and he's in a wheelchair, and he's just a dope dude. Him and Charlie like to get all pissed up and watch Mariners games, and he's great. Billy Black. He is there with his son, and the biggest fucking loser in this whole franchise, Jacob Black. Yeah, no, fine. Yeah, Jacob. Team Edward, Team Jacob. If you're Team Jacob, you're wrong. I'm just sorry. That's just how it is. This kid sucks. He sucks entirely. Boo! Really? Really? All right, well, we'll see how you feel about it when I'm done here. The one thing I will say about Jacob Black is he is written perfectly as a 15-year-old boy who is all horned up, doesn't know how to talk to girls, and has a hard time taking no for an answer. It goes right there. All right. Jacob and his father Billy give Bella a new truck. She gets a fancy new truck and uses that to get around. The place she needs to get to is Forks High School for her first day of high school, where we are introduced to her friends Mike, Jessica, Angela, and Eric. These characters are irrelevant. Forget these names, forget these faces. These people mean nothing to the franchise. There we go. Other than, again, perfectly written high schoolers, Mike especially is just an absolute tool the entire time. These two fall in love. These two also fall in love for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but they do. At school, she has to hang out with these total duds. It's the first lunch hour, and there she gets a glimpse of the most beautiful people she's ever seen in her life, starting with Rosalie and Emmett Cullen. The whole Cullen clan shows up. So we got Rosalie and Emmett. Right? We got Alice and Jasper. Right? And then, of course, the one you've all been waiting to see this entire night, the hottest piece of ass in Forks High School. I'm talking about Mr. Edward fucking Cullen. Give it up for Edward Cullen, ladies and gentlemen. A stud. A total hunk of grade A meat. We love this man. Even though he's problematic in other ways. There. All right, a little bit of backstory about the Cullens. These are all the adopted children of the doctor in town, Carlisle Cullen and his wife Esme Cullen. The other thing about the Cullens, these are all adopted kids, and they're all fucking each other. I don't know why, that's just the way it is. And everyone's like, that's kind of weird, but we don't worry about it. We don't judge them. They're all banging each other, and that's fine in this world, I guess. So Carlisle is the doctor, Esme is his wife, and they're pretty great as well. Carlisle's a really nice guy. Esme's character can be summed up as woman. That's kind of all there is to this character, unfortunately. So these are kind of our main protagonists throughout the series here, right? And so Bella is immediately smitten with Edward. Let me get this. Sadly, we got all this prep in the way here. Bella is immediately smitten with Edward. She's like, what's this guy's deal? And her friends are like, that's Edward Cullen. Don't even worry about him. He's too hot for everybody in school. No, he's not interested in anybody. And Bella's like, I think he might be interested in me. I guess we'll find out. She goes to her first day of biology class. And what do you know? The only empty seat available is next to Edward Cullen. And that's great for her. But when she walks in, the fan blows her stink towards him, and he reacts like someone shit in his face. He is mortified by this, and storms out of the classroom furious. And Bella's like, what is my problem? I don't understand why this man would do that. Anyway, the next day, he's not there in class. The day after that, he's not there in class. The day after that, he's not there in class. And Bella's like, what the hell is going on? Finally, on the fourth day, guess who's back in class? Edward Cullen, that's right. And he is so charming. He's so nice to Bella. He's like, hello, let's have a cute little moment where we do biology together. And it's very sweet, and it's kind of a meet cute, and they're really hitting it off, and it's really great. Later on that week, Bella is standing outside by her truck when a van comes sliding in out of control and is heading right towards Bella, ready to crush and kill her. When wouldn't you know it, suddenly Edward Cullen appears next to her and stops the truck with his bare hand, crumpling the door and stopping the truck entirely. Bella looks at him shocked, and he's like, peace out, and runs away. Bella then has to go to the hospital because she was almost killed by a truck. At the hospital, she's treated by Carlisle, and she gets a chance to talk to Edward, where she's like, hey, what the fuck was that about? You ran across the parking lot and stopped a van with your bare hands. And he's like, no, I didn't. That didn't happen at all. you're crazy, and even if you tell someone that that's what happened, no one's going to believe you. So this man, like I said, is problematic for other reasons. He loves gaslighting women. He loves it. He gets off on it. So, other things happen in Bella's life. She realizes that his eyes change color, his skin is ice cold, and she starts to get suspicious about these things, right? And so she does a little bit of research and finds something called the Cold Ones. These are beings that are not essentially, they are vampires. And she's like, vampires aren't real, but there's no other way to explain what this guy's about. So while confronting Edward in the woods for some reason, she tells him, I know what you are, I know what you're about. And Edward's like, oh yeah, you think you know what I'm about? Then say it, what am I? And she's like, you're a vampire. And he goes, are you afraid of me? And she goes, no. And he goes, here comes some wild vampire shit. And he starts running really fast and ripping trees out of the ground and going I could kill you if I want. And she goes, I trust you, it's fine. And he's like, I'll kill you right now. And she's like, no you won't. I don't know why she acts like this. It doesn't make any sense. I guess because he's a smoke show. That's the only thing I can figure. In the town, a little further up the road, a group of other vampires show up and kill the local pedophile. These are James, Laurent, and Victoria. They're rogue vampires, and they kill the local pedophile, and I guess they're villains of the movie somehow. I'm not quite sure how. We put them on the board. Bella is all horned up for Edward. She wants to bang this man so bad, and he's like, no, this is crazy, but we can start dating. So they start dating and become the hottest couple in school. Holy shit, this is incredible. All of Bella's dreams are coming true. So they're now the hottest couple in school. His family is mad because his secret about being a vampire has been revealed to Bella. And just everything is kind of getting topsy-turvy in their world. Edward invites Bella to go meet his family. That's a really nice thing. She hits it off with them really well. And then the family goes, hey, why don't you come on out and play some baseball with us? We're playing baseball out in a thunderstorm because when we hit the ball with the bat, it's so loud that it sounds like a thunderclap. So we can only play baseball in a thunderstorm. This is the best scene in the movie. They're all wearing old-timey baseball uniforms like this, and they play baseball in the rain, and it's an awesome scene. There's great music playing, and they're hitting the ball 4,000 feet and running really fast and catching it. It's fantastic. Meanwhile, these three vampires show up and interrupt the game. And the problem here is that Bella is a human hanging out with vampires, and that's a total niche in the vampire community. And so James gets a whiff of Bella and is like, I'm gonna kill this girl. And they're like, no, she's just leaving right now. And oh shit, now James is hungry for Bella's blood and he wants to kill Bella. So the Cullens have to put Bella into hiding. So they send her back down to Arizona, but James gets wind of that and goes down to Arizona and chases after her and sets up a trap for her at her old ballet studio. So she goes to the old ballet studio, James springs the trap, and proceeds to beat the shit out of Bella. He's throwing her around the ballet studio, he's breaking her limbs, at one point he bites her arm, and now she's infected with vampirism. Oh shit! Edward shows up, thankfully, and beats up James, and then the rest of the Cullens show up and kill James. They rip his head off, and they rip his arms off. And that's just how you kill a vampire in these movies. The other thing that Edward has pointed out to Bella is that when they get out in the sunshine, their skin sparkles, and they become really sparkly and beautiful. And that's how you can tell a vampire in the daylight. And so Bella's got this rolling around in her head as well, as she's transforming into a vampire herself. Edward then has to suck the blood out of Bella's body to keep the vampire virus from turning her into a vampire. It takes so much discipline for him to do this, but he manages to pull it off and save Bella's life. Bella passes out, wakes up in the hospital to be told that the story they told the doctors is that she fell down 2 flights of stairs and out a plate glass window, and that's why her body's all broken and beaten up. What an insane story to tell the doctor. Fell down 2 flights of stairs means down one, around a corner, down another one, and then through a window. Absolutely insane. But James is now dead, the other vampires aren't hunting her, and everything is going to be great now in their life. So they dance at the prom, and as they're dancing, they're having this really nice moment, but we see in the window, Victoria is watching them, setting up Victoria's revenge against them. The end of Twilight. Great. New moon. We open in Italy. Edward is about to walk outside in Italy to reveal that he is a vampire to everybody. And just before he steps outside, Bella wakes up. It was all a horrible dream. Oh my God. Everything is great in Edward and Bella's world. But Edward's like, look, it's too dangerous to have us around here. Me and the whole Cullen family are leaving you forever. And so they pull up stakes, and the whole Cullen family just leave Bella in Forks. Which is insane and cruel, because now she knows vampires exist, and nobody's going to look after her anymore. What an Earth reality-shattering revelation that would be for her. And then to just be like, and now you're on your own. So Bella falls into a deep depression. And during that depression, she sits up in her room for months at a time. Finally, and also she has horrible night terrors where she wakes up screaming in the middle of the night, waking up Charlie, who's just trying to get some rest before he goes out and does cop work. So Charlie's finally like, look, Bella, you've got to start hanging out with people again. Like, you can't just live in your room and scream all night, right? So Bella, he's like, Bella, you've got to start hanging out with people. Why don't you go hang out with Jacob Black? You used to know Jacob Black. You should go hang out with him. So Bella does just that. And when she goes and meets up with Jacob for the first time, she is greeted like this. Bella, where the hell have you been, loca? Jacob is not Spanish in any way. He's First Nations. I don't know why he speaks in Spanish in this scene. It doesn't make any sense. But Bella, where the hell have you been, loca, is one of the most iconic lines from this franchise. So that goes on the board. Bella and Jacob start hanging out all the time. They start working on motorcycles together, and they're really hitting it off. They're having a good time. And Bella realizes that if she starts putting her life in danger and doing dangerous things, Edward will appear before her. And so she starts doing just that. She rides the motorcycle that Jacob and her built with no helmet and falls and smashes her head on the ground like an idiot. She goes cliff diving, and we get one of the most genuinely scary scenes in the franchise. Bella goes cliff diving, and out of the murky Pacific water, Victoria appears, and she comes swimming out of the depths, and it's genuinely terrifying when that happens. Bella gets washed up against the rocks, knocked out, and I guess is just fine after that. Her friendship with Jacob is progressing, but suddenly he starts acting weird, and he's like, Bella, we can't be friends anymore. I can't know you anymore. I'm a dangerous person. And she's like, no, you're not. You're 16 and you're a little dingus. He's like, no, I'm not a good person anymore. You need to leave now. So Bella starts to leave when she's attacked by wolves, and she goes, Jacob, help me. And he turns from his house, sprints across the lawn, jumps through the air, and a fucking wolf explodes out of him. This is the coolest werewolf transformation in cinema history. In other werewolf films, it's like, oh, my hands are growing longer, or I'm getting like a snout. In the Twilight universe, when you become a werewolf explodes out of your body and your skin just flies into the air. They don't ever address how you go from wolf back to person. I don't know if like Jacob explodes out of a wolf, but either way, you explode and it's pretty awesome. So we find out that the whole Twilight tribe, this is a real tribe by the way, the whole Twilight tribe are werewolves. So werewolves exist and vampires exist. Holy shit. Bella's like, I thought I was just moving to a new town. Suddenly my whole world is shifted. I don't know what's up or down anymore. We also find out that in this movie, Edward thinks that when vampires die, they go to hell. And that's a thing that they address. It's like heaven's real, hell is real, and vampires go to hell. So the fact that anyone would want to be a vampire is fucking lunacy to me. You get a couple of 100 years of doing cool vampire shit, and then you go to hell for eternity? That's insane. Anyway, a bunch of other shit happens, right? This guy, Victoria's hunting them, Laurent is hunting her. The werewolves all kill Laurent, so now James is dead, Laurent is dead. They are now in hell, let's point that out. And Bella and Jacob are getting along swimmingly now that she knows he's a werewolf. Edward, for some reason, thinks that she's dead. He gets a phone call that tells him that Bella's dead, and he goes, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. So he goes to Italy to kill himself by revealing himself to the Italian people and showing his shiny skin so that he will be brought in front of the tribunal of vampires and they will execute him. There's gotta be easier ways to kill yourself as a vampire, but that's the one he goes with. So Bella and Alice, who has returned to warn Bella about this, have to go to Italy to stop Edward from killing himself. And they do, of course they do. They stop Edward right before he goes outside. Edward, Bella, and Alice are captured and taken before the Volturi. These are the vampire syndicate. These are the gentlemen who run the vampire world, all right? They go up here. The Volturi are very important. They are like the main antagonists of the whole series. We have the three main Volturi, Aro, Marcus, and Caius. These are the main guys in the Volturi, all right? Know these faces, know these names. These are the main threats. They also have their enforcers. Alec and Jane, they have magical powers. Some vampires have magical powers. I don't know if I said that or not. But like Edward can read minds. Alice can see the future. Jasper can control people's emotions. This guy can shoot smoke out of his hands and dull all your senses. And this woman can make you feel unimaginable pain like you've never felt before. And she just uses her mind to do it. Unbelievable powers, but also some vampires don't have powers. I don't know why, but some of them just don't. Alright, so they stop Edward from killing themselves, they're brought before the Volturi. The Volturi are like, you can't have a person hanging out with you, and they go, it's all good, we're going to turn her into a vampire when she graduates. And Bella goes, okay, fine. So now the date is set. Bella will be turned into a vampire after she graduates from next year of school. The end of New Moon. Everything's going to be great now. Eclipse. We're at the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. Hang in there. I said this was going to be long. I apologize to you all. That table doesn't give a fuck about what I'm talking about right now. Eclipse. We open in Seattle, Washington. A man by the name of Riley is leaving a bar when he is attacked by a vampire and beaten and left in the street bleeding, screaming while he turns into a vampire. One of the most excruciating things in the movie. Horrifying. I'm going to skip over a lot of Eclipse because this movie is mostly irrelevant to the franchise and it's my least favorite of the movies. Jacob is awful in this movie. He will not take no for an answer. Bella is in love with Edward. Jacob will not take no. He kisses Bella at one point, and she punches him in the face and breaks her fucking hand. That's how much she hates this man. And I hate him too. Sorry, I know there's some Team Jacob fans here. I apologize. Basically, the crux of Eclipse is that these people are all dead except Victoria. Into hell. Victoria has been recast. Victoria's been recast as Bryce Dallas Howard. What a babe. But she's now the main antagonist. Victoria is assembling a vampire army in Seattle in order to come and kill Bella Swan. And nobody likes that. So Edward and Bella and Jacob convince the werewolves to put aside their beef with the vampires and team up with them so that they can fight Victoria's vampire army. We also learn that it's against the rules in vampire culture to turn a child into a vampire because they can't be controlled and it's cruel to children to do that. So, Victoria's army of young vampires are all crazy because they're out of control and they have turned a child into a vampire. Oh shit. The army of vampires from Victoria rolls into Forks in order to kill Bella, but the army of Edward of the Cullens and the Quillette tribe fight Victoria's army and win in the battle. Edward fucking rips Victoria's head off at the end of the movie. It's nuts. Great, thanks guys. And so the Volturi then show up because there's word that a child vampire exists. And so the Volturi show up and go, you can't have a child vampire. Carlisle goes, hey, let us raise the child. We'll take care of this child. And I know this is bad, but she doesn't want to be a vampire. She doesn't want to kill people. We are vegetarians. We don't eat people. We eat animals. So let us raise her the right way. And the Volturi go, no. And they kill the child. Holy shit. Fantastic. And so they kill the child, but the Volturi go, hey, we didn't forget. You got to turn this girl into a vampire. And they go, we're going to. Don't even worry about it. It's going to happen soon. Also, Bella's like, Edward, I need you to dig me down so bad. Like, I am horny as fuck. When are we gonna fuck? And he's like, we can't fuck. And she's like, turn me into a vampire. Then he's like, I can't turn you into a vampire. We can only fuck if we're married. Which doesn't, like, what do you mean? What kind of Mormon shit is this? You can't have sex until you're married? You're like 117 years old. Why are you holding on to these old beliefs? Baffling. There is soaking. Yeah! There is soaking in the last book. We'll get to the soaking. Don't get ahead of yourself. So Edward's like, look, the only way we can fuck with soaking is by getting married. So Bella, will you marry me? And she's like, fuck yeah, bro. I'm trying to get fucking laid here. Let's go. Everything's going to be great now. The end of Eclipse. We're almost there. Oh my God. Home stretch, ladies and gentlemen. We open Breaking Dawn Part 1. It's a beautiful wedding. Everyone is there at this beautiful wedding. They're having a great time. Bella looks beautiful. Edward looks beautiful. Everyone she knows is there. But when she gets to the front of the altar, holy shit, who's the priest? It's fucking Aro. Oh my God. And now Edward has blood all over him. And all of her friends and family are dead. And there's an ocean of blood rising up out of the ground. This is your legacy, Bella. This is what you're marrying into. Death and blood and horror. Ugh. She wakes up, it was all a dream. Oh my God. But her wedding is coming. Her wedding is today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. It's a beautiful ceremony. This is legitimately my favorite movie of the franchise. And the wedding especially is gorgeous. There's a bunch of goofy vampire shit where they're carrying heavy logs around and setting up the wedding. And the day of the wedding comes, Renee shows up, Phil shows up, everybody is there. And Jacob throws a little hissy fit and decides, I'm not coming to the wedding, but everybody else is there, right? So, the day of the wedding comes, and where is it? Charlie walks Bella down the aisle, and it's really nice. She goes, Dad, don't let me fall. He goes, I never will, Bella. And so Charlie walks Bella down the aisle, and they get married. Holy shit, it's amazing. It's a beautiful moment. They kiss. I love you forever. This is great. We get to the speeches after the wedding. No, the speeches are great. The speeches are awesome. In fact, as a matter of fact, I actually quoted Edward's speech to Bella in my own wedding to my wife, sitting right there. I said, and I quote in the wedding, there's no measure of time long enough for us to be together, but let's start with forever. That's nice. That's a really nice thing to say. Yeah, that is. Speeches suck. Get your shit together, bro. It's a nice thing to say. And now it's time to go. Oh, before they go on the honeymoon, Jacob does show up and acts like a little asshole and ruins the wedding and makes Bella cry on her wedding day. What a cool guy. Team Jacob, I do not understand you. It's time for them to go on their honeymoon. Edward and Bella go on their honeymoon. They go down to South America. They go to a privately owned island that I think is called Little St. James. And they go there and they're like, now it is time to fuck. We are so excited. And man, do they fuck on that honeymoon. Holy shit. The sex is so insane that it destroys the bed that they're having sex on. Let's be honest, by a round of applause, who else has destroyed a bed by having sex? That's right. Sometimes you see in the Airbnb and you destroy the bed. You hope they don't notice. Well, they destroyed the bed, and the next morning Bella is covered in bruises, and everyone's like, oh shit, like, we're never doing that again. And she's like, what are you talking about? I love this, apparently. Apparently I found my kink. Like, throw me around, Daddy. This is great. So they fuck a few more times, and it's nuts. And one morning, Edward's like, hey, I'm gonna dip for a little while for some reason. Oh, I gotta go hunt. I'll be back a little later. Bella starts cooking some food, and she starts eating chicken, and she's like, oh, I don't feel very good. And she runs to the bathroom and pukes her guts out. And she's like, oh, that's weird. I've never really puked after eating before. Also, my belly feels kind of hard. When was the last time I had my period? Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I think I'm pregnant. Edward comes back, she's like, Edward, I think I'm pregnant. He's like, oh, no, fuck, oh shit, you can't be pregnant, oh shit, I'm a vampire, you're a person, oh God. He calls Carlisle, he's like, Carlisle, I think I got her pregnant. Carlisle's like, fuck, I don't know, bro, that's crazy, you guys gotta come home, I've never even seen that before. How did you do that? And so they all go back to Forks. They head back to Forks, and they're staying at the Cullens' house in secret. They don't tell Charlie that Bella's home. They tell Charlie that Bella got sick on the honeymoon and is now in Switzerland in a private clinic. That's pretty fucked up, if you ask me. The pregnancy is advancing rapidly. Like daily, Bella is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's starting to kill her. The baby inside of her is leaching like the stuff out of her bones, and it's leaching her blood out of her system, and it's starting to break her down. And Jacob's like freaking out about it. Also, the Quillette tribe is like, hey, if there's a vampire-human hybrid in Bella, we're gonna fucking kill all of you. And they're like, oh, don't do that. And they're like, we're gonna do it. So don't, make sure it's not a hybrid, make sure it's normal. So the stakes are now set. If she has a baby and it's a freak, this tribe of werewolves are gonna kill the whole Cullen family. Holy shit. Also, Jacob tells Edward, if Bella dies while she's having that baby, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. How does that sound? Personally, I'm gonna see to your death and send you to hell. And Edward's like, you could do it. I don't even care if that happens. The pregnancy is advancing rapidly. Bella is now drinking blood. She's not a vampire. She's drinking blood, and she's like, this is really good. No, it's not. It's blood. It's not even your blood. It's just somebody else's blood, and you're drinking it. That's despicable. Anyway, things get so bad for Bella, and her bones get so brittle that she breaks her fucking back. Her back snaps in half, and she's like, oh, and collapses to the ground. That's going on the board. Her back snaps in half. And now her water breaks. Oh my God, now the baby is coming as well on top of her broken little body. So now she's laying there. This baby is coming out. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what this thing is going to be. Is it going to be a little bat monster? Who the hell knows? Bella is fading. She's fading. And Edward's like, the baby's not coming out. I have to do something about this. And he starts biting into her stomach and giving her a cesarean section with his teeth like a fucking maniac. His dad's a doctor. Does he not have a scalpel or something? Doesn't matter. Edward's just raw dogging a cesarean. He's ripping Bella apart. He's tearing into her, and he gets this baby out. Rosalie rolls up and goes, hey, give me the baby. I'll go clean it up. It's going to be fine. And she runs off with the baby. Bella sees the baby going and goes, I want to name that baby. I'm going to name it Renesmee after her two grandmas or whatever. It's a terrible name. Rosalie takes the baby away. Bella is watching the baby go, and she fucking dies. She dies, ladies and gentlemen. She's laying on the table dead, and everyone's like, oh, no, fuck, oh, shit. And he grabs a tube out of the drawer, and Jacob's like, what is that? He's like, this is my venom. And he stabs it into Bella, and he's like, God, we gotta turn her into a vampire, oh, fuck. And he starts like biting her, and he's like, she's gotta turn into a vampire. It doesn't work. Bella is dead, ladies and gentlemen. She's dead. Sorry. I hope you didn't want more of her. She's absolutely dead. Jacob's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. And Edward's like, you know what, man? I deserve it. But Jacob's like, first, I'm gonna go see your baby. So he goes into the other room. He sees the baby being held by Rosalie. Oh, I didn't mention this earlier. There's a thing in werewolf culture called imprinting. And imprinting is when you see a person out of the blue and you realize that like you are in love with this person and you and this person are now connected forever. You are going to be lovers forever. And like it's just a werewolf thing. It doesn't make any sense. But anyone who's imprinted on each other become like tight and never break up. They love each other forever, right? Jacob walks into the room, sees Renesmee, and goes, duh, and imprints on the baby. Go figure. This cool guy imprints on a baby, and he's like, it's not a sex thing, but for every other werewolf, it's a sex thing. Baffling. But anyway, this is Renesmee. This is the doll that they use for Renesmee, but I thought it was gross and weird enough to include it in this tonight. So she goes on the board. So now Jacob's in love with a baby. He's going to kill Edward, and Bella is absolutely dead. They clean Bella up, they put a nice dress on her, and they put her off to the side on a nice table while they get everything kind of sorted out, right? And we pan over to Bella and zoom inside of her body and see Edward's venom is working. It's the black goo of the venom is coursing through her veins and changing all her red blood cells into black vampire goo. And her whole body is changing. All of her bites heal, and her hair gets like color back to it, and her skin gets color, and she gets a pair of tits for some reason. I'm not sure why, but her tits are like, oh! And like, she just puffs back up, and the camera pans over and lands on her face, and we see, well, you can't see because I have sunglasses on, but her eyes snap open. The end of Breaking Dawn Part 1. Holy shit, Bella is back. Breaking Dawn Part 2, the finale. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking go. Bella is back, and she's a vampire now. Holy shit. And everything is incredible. She looks, and the world is in 8K, and everything. She can see all the dust motes, and the sunlight streaming in through the window. And the first person she sees is beautiful Edward Cullen. And she's just like, oh my God, I love this man. She runs up and grabs him, but she's a new vampire, so she's really strong, and she's like squeezing him, and he's like, you're killing me. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, I want to see my baby. I want to see Renesmee. And he goes, no. If you see her now, you're going to rip her to pieces. I'm sorry, that's just the way it's going to be. We got to go kill something first. And she's like, fuck yeah, let's do vampire shit. And they run off into the woods. And they're sprinting through the woods and running and having a great time. They see a deer and they see a mountain lion. And she's like, I'm going to kill one of these things. And she starts stalking them and she's ready to kill them. When all of a sudden, miles away, a man is climbing a mountain and he slips and scrapes his knee. And the fresh human blood sets Bella off. And she goes, oh shit, I gotta get me some of that. And she runs off to go kill this man who's climbing the mountain. She gets to the mountain, she's boom, climbing the mountain. And everyone's like, oh shit, and he runs off after her. And just before she kills this guy, he stops. She's like, Bella, please, don't kill this man. Don't get a taste for human blood. You have to eat animals. That's just the way it is, otherwise you'll become a monster. And she goes, fucking fine, I won't kill any people, I won't. And she turns and jumps off like a 4,000-foot cliff and just flies down a mountain. This movie is full of goofy vampire shit. This is the best one for vampire stuff. And so she jumps off a mountain and Edward just goes, my wife, and he jumps off the mountain after her. And they're fucking running and they kill some things and it's great. And they come back home. And Jacob, wouldn't you know it, this little creep is holding Renesmee in his arms. And Bella's like, let me see the baby. He's like, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't. And she's like, let me see my baby, bro. Who the fuck are you? And he goes, okay, just for a minute. And all the vampires are snickering and they're all laughing and they're like, tell her what happened, Jacob, tell her what happened. And she goes, what happened? And then we cut to Bella beating the shit out of Jacob, just punching him and throwing him around and being like, you want to bang my baby? And he's like, it's not like that, except for every other time that it's like that. So she's like, get out of here. Like, you and me are fucking done professionally, bro. Get out of here. So he leaves, and now their whole family's together. Edward, Bella, and the baby. And they're like, look, now we gotta leave Forks, because now we have this weird little mutant baby. It's growing very fast. We can't stay here, so the whole Cullen clan is gonna leave. But Jacob gets wind of this and is like, you can't leave. Like, I love this baby in a platonic way. And also, your dad is here, and he's the coolest guy ever. And so Jacob goes to Charlie and is like, hey, by the way, Bella's back. She's been at the Cullen's house this whole time. They're lying to you. Also, here's something I have to show you. And he starts taking off all of his clothes. And Charlie's like, hey, bro, you're like 17. Like, I'm not trying to arrest myself here, bro. So don't get all your, don't see your dinger or anything like that. But before Jacob can whip out his little dinger, he explodes into a werewolf. And Charlie's like, oh, shit! His entire reality is shattered in this moment. And Jacob's like, come with me, we gotta go stop Bella from leaving. So they go to the Cullens' house, and they're like, hey, we're married now, and we've adopted this weird little baby. And Charlie's like, that's insane, but if it makes you happy, I'm a cool dad, let's roll with it, that's fine. You have a baby now, it's yours, but not yours, don't even sweat it, I'm a supportive dad. So everything is okay now, they're gonna stay, everything's fine. They're out for a walk one day, Edward, Bella, and the baby. When all of a sudden, the baby's now like 6 years old from the looks of it, it's been like 2 weeks. Another set of vampires sees this child with them and goes, is that a fucking vampire child with the Cullens? We just dealt with this shit in the last movie. And so they run off to tell the Volturi, little tattletales, hey, the Cullens have turned a child into a vampire. Oh my god. Now the Volturi are like, we're gonna come and kill your whole family now, because you can't be turning children into vampires. So, Carlisle is like, look, in order to protect my family, first of all, Renesmee is not a vampire. She's a hybrid. She has a heartbeat. She has blood. She can eat food and blood to survive. She's not a child vampire. She's aging rapidly. If we can talk to Aru, we can convince him that it's okay and she's not a vampire. Don't kill us. So he sets out to gather all of his friends from around the world, and we get a bunch of multicultural caricatures of vampires, right? There's the Irish vampires, and there's like vampires from Egypt, played by Rami Malek, and there's all these different vampires that all are like their racial caricatures, essentially. And they all gather together to like support Carlisle, because she has the power to show people her mind. So she's showing all these vampires, I'm not a baby, I'm a hybrid. So look, we can all vouch for me, right? We get to the final showdown. The Volturi have shown up. There's an army of vampires assisting the Cullens. All the werewolves have teamed up with the Cullens to be like, look, we love Bella, we love you. Everything is cool now between all of us. We will fight to save you and save your family. So on one side of a giant snowy field, we have the Volturi and their whole army of kick-ass vampires dressed immaculately. On the other side of the field, we got all the Cullens and the werewolves. So Bella, Emmett, Edward, Jacob, and Renesmee all go over to see Aro and are like, look, she's not a baby, she's not a vampire child, she's a hybrid. And so she shows Aro, she touches him and shows him her mind, and he's like, oh shit, like, yeah, you are a vampire hybrid, that's crazy. But you know what? I'm just gonna fucking lie and say that you're a vampire child, because we just want to kill you guys anyway. And so that's what he does. He grabs Alice and takes her hostage, and Carlisle is like, no! And he runs across the field, and Arno's like, fuck yeah, bro. And he runs across the field the other way. The two of them jump, meet in midair, and Aru lands, and he's holding Carlisle's head. Carlisle is dead. The father of the Cullen clan is dead. In hell now. Oh shit. All the Cullens are like, fuck this. So the war is on. All the vampires charge at each other, and they slam into each other, and people are fighting and killing each other. A bunch of the Quillettes A bunch of the werewolves get killed. Well, they don't go to hell, I guess. A bunch of the werewolves get killed. A bunch of the vampires get killed. Jasper, killed, ripped to pieces. He goes to hell. And like a big chasm opens up in the earth and it leads to hell from the looks of it. And vampires and werewolves are falling into this chasm. And it's just an all-out slobber knocker. They're just ripping each other to shreds. It looks like the colors are going to lose, but the tide starts turning because Bella starts using her magic powers, which is to create a force field that protects other people from vampire powers. So she negates the powers of Alec and Jane, who are then killed and sent to hell. She negates the powers of Marcus and Caius, who are then killed and sent to hell. And then finally, in a showdown to end all showdowns, Edward and Bella face off against Aru. And it's a real slobber knocker. And finally, Edward tackles Aru from the middle. Bella gives Aru a fucking RKO like Randy Orton and rips his head off, sending him and the Volturi elite to hell. And as Aru lays on the ground with his last dying breath, looking up at the scene, realizing he's lost the war and the Cullens have won, we snap out of his head and realize it was all a vision shown to him by Alice, who I threw into hell, unfortunately. That's Alice's power. She can see the future. And so she shows him, if you fight us, you will die and go to hell. You will lose. So Aru goes, all right, look, maybe I was a little too hasty in lying and saying that this girl is actually a vampire. Maybe it's all cool. I was just kidding. Everything's fine. We're going to leave and never bother you again. So the Volturi, the whole vampire army with them, all leave. And all's well that ends well. Basically, everybody, this whole story ends with, like, everybody getting what they want. Everybody lives happily ever after. Jacob gets to like fall in love with a baby or whatever. And Edward and Bella, and I'll read this from the book. And then we continued blissfully into this small but perfect piece of ours forever. And that's the end of Twilight. I got this out of the library today to do this. Now, as a final little treat for all of you sticking around, you know what it's like. Here's a picture of my real bed. This is my real Jacob pillowcase that I sleep on every night. I'm not Team Jacob, but it's the only pillowcase I could find with Twilight stuff on it. And yes, these are wrestle buddies of wrestling. But yeah, this is my real life bed that I sleep on every night. So thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. I'm really sorry, staff. I'm really sorry.
Then what happened?
Yeah. That's it.